Happy Friday to you all. Welcome to a week in review of, this week's political headlines and news and all that jazz. So I'm just going to just cut to the goddamn chase and just come with these COVID numbers. Because, yes, even though we're at somewhat of a light of a tunnel, this is still a global pandemic. So it is what it is. So according to the Johns Hopkins University of Medicine website, the global confirmed cases is 185,975,557 cases of COVID around the world. The global death toll has reached 4 million. It was projected as Wednesday, and now we're at 4,017,279. The U.S. confirmed cases is 33,813,541. And the U.S. death toll is at 606,816. So global confirmed cases 185.9 mil. The global death toll is 4,017,279. Hey, Kay. Hey, cousin. U.S. confirmed cases is 33.8 mil. And the U.S. death toll is 606,816. I believe there's over 10,000 new cases today, and that's from the Delta variant. And the crazy part is the folks that are in the hospital with Delta are the ones that's not vaccinated. So, yeah, I mean, they just started closing down more vaccination sites. So that means that people that wanted to get a vaccine today at a local site couldn't get it today because they closed down and cut down the hours because people are not going to get the vaccine. I mean, there's places with lower vaccination rates. Of course, Japan got 7%. That's why they canceled. I think they uphold their events. Then you have Africa at like 1 or 2%, and they want the vaccine. And here we are in America. We got all this available vaccines to us, all of this, from walking distance for some of us that live in large cities like New York. So I don't understand what the hell. Like, I don't understand why you guys don't want to get the vaccine. Yeah, I heard they closed Jacob Javits today, and Jacob Javits is not too far from where I live by the train. They cut down the hours near my parents, so my father, who wanted to get a vaccine today, couldn't get vaccinated today because he was waiting for my mom and my sister because they all can't get vaccinated at the same time, trying to get the vaccine. I'm vaccinated. My mom just is fully vaxxed. My sister got her first dose. My dad was going to get his dose. My elder sister had to get her dose after her husband because they can't get vaccinated at the same time because they both got compromised immune systems. We got all this availability. People want to get their vaccines, and they closed down some of the sites and cut down some of the hours. And yeah, he did in a way, but he was waiting for my mom to get it first because my sister is actually disabled, so he has to push her wheelchair. So that's the reason why he went last. But we got all this availability to us in America, while all these other countries have like less than like 10% of vaccination rates, and these people, and they want to get their people vaccinated. You got in America, it's all available for us, all available, and you telling me that you don't want to get vaccinated because it hurts your family, because you don't believe in it, because it kill people? Let me just say this. I got Moderna. I'm here. The only effects that I got from it was I was tired. And you get a sore arm. The sore arm is expected. They tell you to wiggle it and take Tylenol so it can ease the soreness. Sometimes you get a headache. Some people react to it differently. I'm vaccinated. I'm fine. I don't understand why these people don't want to get the vaccine. I mean, we got free accessibility. There's places that had to close down. Montefiore cut down some of their hours. Jacob Javits Center closed today. I'm at the point where I'm so fed up with people. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And then Juvenile, it was so crazy because people don't want to get vaccinated. Now, Juvenile had to put vax that thing up. It was catchy, though. But this Delta crap is no joke. Like, there's people that's really in the hospital. Like, in Maryland, they say there was a percentage of people that was in the hospital with the Delta variant that got diagnosed with the Delta variant because they didn't get vaccinated. Like I said, vaccines are free. They said dial it. You can look at it on your phone and look for the nearest vaccinations. It's not that hard. Shoot, there's people that they wish in other countries they could get easy access to the vaccination. They're waiting for our country to send them some some vaccines to them. I think India got some vaccines sent to them because their rate was so high. Rates of diagnosis and rates of death is so high. It's so bad. It's so bad. All the way bad. It's crazy. It was cute. So many people were mad at him. They don't get it. I have no respect for these idiot celebrities. Yeah, the ones that's spreading the misinformation about the damn vaccine. And you saying it's killing people if they get the shot? That's so dumb. And Tokyo's on fire, and I don't even understand why they having I don't know if they cancel it. They were having the Olympics. I honestly, I feel like most events should have been canceled. I know it sounds like doomsday, but it is what it is. Child, we ain't even out of this pandemic yet anytime soon. Of course not. It's supposed to be another wave. Pandemics come in 3 waves at the least. But some health experts projected 5 years. I'm like, that's kind of like longevity. I'm saying 2. They saying 5. I trust the health experts. I don't know. It's about money. Of course, minister, of course. It's about money. And that's the thing. Like, you know, you're risking people's health for money. It sounds ridiculous. Yeah, it's oh my God. Like, it makes me mad. And everybody was like, well, Chantay, you're just like paranoid and you don't want to go this place. I don't want to go nowhere people have no mask on and people not getting vaccinated and choose not to. That's putting my vaccinated self at risk. I'm lucky I'm going to see my family. Like, I reduce my movements where I go. Like, I go to the gym 2 days a week. I work out with a mask on. And as other people do that. I'm going to school online. That's good. Still searching for work. If I got to work remotely or work in person, that's fine. I'll have my mask on. Let's see. I go see my parents like every other week. Church is on Zoom. And I'll get my nails done like every 2 weeks. I really don't do that much. Like, my friends, we just Zoom or I call them, message them. Like, we all know it's a pandemic. Everybody knows we're not getting out there. So I will wear my mask for another 5 years if I have to. Same. I have a lot of masks. And speaking, I got to text you, minister, because I think I got some more masks I want to send you guys, if you guys don't mind. Because I bought like so many masks. It was on sale for $1 at Old Navy, and they're all gone. They were all gone. By the time I got most of them, thank God I bought a lot. Yeah, the pandemic just not open your eyes. The pandemic open your eyes to racial justice, racial inequality, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. All craziness. So, and then the CDC want to open up schools too. Fast, even if you don't got the social distancing measures in place. That's insane. That's crazy. That's wild. I'm glad I don't work in schools. I'm glad I don't work for the education system because I will be that teacher. Like, I quit my job Because you got kids, well, parents that don't want their kids to get vaccinated, even though the vaccine is available to kids as young as 12. And all kids can get vaccinated. Kids under 12 can't get vaccinated. So that sounds crazy to me. Babies can't wear masks. That is true. And there's a daycare around where I live at. They're open. And I'm just like, mm-mm. And the kids are not vaccinated. And some of these kids they like to dig up their nose and touch them, and touch on things and then put their hands in their mouths and touch things. It's, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm glad I don't work in the school system. I'm glad my sister don't work in daycare no more. My elder sister works with people with disabilities, but the little kids can't get vaccinated because parents are essential workers mainly. That is true. Some of them work in supermarkets. Some of them work at the hospital. Some work at, I think, in buildings as concierge workers, and hotels and retail. Yeah. So babies came to get vaccinated, but there's no kid mask on sale no more at Old Navy. They all sold out. They're all gone too. Gee, but I think everything is a rush. It's about money, and I'm nervous. I'm not even a parent, and I'm nervous. But like I said, we're not going to be out of this pandemic no time soon. I know if it's in the middle of next year, I'm like shocked if it's in the middle of next year because people don't want to get vaccinated. Things are opening up at 100% capacity. People just not wearing their masks no more. People just not giving a damn anymore. And it's sad. Last year they opened too soon and we got shut down again. Yup. And I think across the pond in London, I talked to one of my friends that lived there, from our junior high school friend, and she said it's for what is it? They were on their 4th lockdown, and I think they just got out of it. Crazy. There has been poor global management of this entire thing. That is true. That is true. That is definitely true from all world leaders. All because they don't believe it's real. And the Delta variant is spreading faster in South Texas, Georgia, Alabama, and etc. And some of those places down south have low vaccination rates. I think my mother's home state in South Carolina has a low vaccination rate. That's why my mom is like, nope, not traveling. And traveling for me is off. And American Airlines just lifted their travel, their mask mandate, which I think that's stupid in its whole entirety. Their whole entirety is dumb. And down south has low access to care too. Yup, and that too. I don't even know if they have any, but a lot of the vaccination sites were federal, so some of them expired. Yeah, American Airlines sucks. I like U.S. Airways a little bit better. I never flew Delta. I flew U.S. Airways. So, all these people trying to make their money. It's ridiculous. And wow. Yeah, it is wild. That's why I will stay put. Stay my butt home. There's things to do in the city that could keep my distance from folks. Just continue to do my regular schmegler, work out, keep my peace, keep my sanity. Unfortunately, I can't burn sage in my house because I do live in an electrical free, whatever it is, apartment. No, a smoke free building. And so all of that will cause the alarms in my apartment to go off. So, yeah. But in terms of what's going on, the Haitian president was assassinated. And which no one saw that coming. Oh, I wanted to go out of town for my birthday, but nope, not this year. Yep, of course not. But that was wild. And not just only the Haitian president was assassinated, his wife was shot. She was wounded. And so they flew her to a medical center in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So hopefully she's okay. I mean, I'm not for anyone being assassinated. You don't want to wish death on people. But I read an article, BBC article, saying that they were protesting the president, the former president, who I guess they didn't like his politics. I don't know the whole scope of things because I try to stay out of certain international affairs because I mind my business. If it has nothing to do with me, it's always good to just learn and shut up and all of that stuff. But it's crazy. But we got to pray for Haiti because they're in turmoil right now. I heard no flights is going there from what my boo thing told me. That, the guy's messed up and no flights are going there. And, now that he's assassinated, it's crazy. So prayers up for Haiti. Prayers up for Haiti. And now domestically, the Social Security Administrator, the Trump appointed Social Security Minister, has been fired. I mean, about time. And he was fired due to it was on my phone alert, but he was pretty much fired, of the whole stimulus scandal thing, on how he was holding up funds for people to get their stimulus. Like my mom and my dad, they got their stimulus through their Social Security. And so the simple fact is, like, he held up that process and delayed those checks. People were, late paying their rent or paying their mortgage because he held up time. That was crazy. So, I mean, bye to the Trump appointees. And there's some more Trump appointees that's still sitting in there and that needs to go, that needs to be fired, due to the fact is that they obstructing things that has to get done within the departments. So now, besides appointing 3 people and to the post office, the trustees to serve in the postal service thing, I forgot what they're called, the board of governors. There we go. You got to get rid of DeJoy because he's a Trump appointee. Now you got to find someone that's going to fill that Social Security Administrator role. And those internal departments is just as important. Those roles is just as important as the main roles, because those people serve in there and they could be a hindrance to the Biden and Harris administration. And speaking of the Biden and Harris administration, they met with civil rights leaders to get some voting rights act going on. So here's the thing about this. This is such a tricky situation. And I know I don't want to sound like I'm a shill or anything. But, hello. As much as the president has executive power, because he should use his executive power on things like this, it could be overturned if he gets, unseated next year. Not next year, I mean in 2024. That's why they're urging the Congress to pass a bill. But Kristen Leah Sinema and Joseph Manchin III think in their imaginary mind that bipartisanship is supposed to fucking happen out of the whole entire sky. Like Republicans are for, protecting our democratic institutions and our voting power. Hell no. Look what they're doing now in Texas. They trying to pass another voting suppression bill. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I can't say Congress is dysfunctional. The Senate is just more as broken as the House. Like, you still got 2 Democrats that still think in their right mind, like the Senate, it has integrity. When the integrity of the Senate, has been effed up since 2015. Even if you have a new leader now, and if you get a vote on a new leader, which I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, the Senate is broken forever. Mitch McConnell ruined the integrity of the Senate. And it will take a long time for it to develop and get back to its normal. And unfortunately, this country is still, obsessed and infatuated with white supremacy, even in our own government. It's crazy why we only have 3 black senators, and they're all men, and no female senator that's black. Like, it's insane. The insanity of it all. Because you got people from these states that have Democratic senators that are obsessed with whiteness. The world is changing, and we have to get legislation done that's going to benefit people of color, black people, brown people, indigenous folks, and other marginalized communities. Like, I can't express it enough, and how crazy it is when you have Republicans, some sitting congressmen in the House, and one former senator and former presidential candidate, Richard John Santorum, Rick Santorum, thanking Sinema and Manchin for upholding and keeping the filibuster, the Jim Crow filibuster that stopped progress on good legislation that can be passed. Are you kidding me? The insanity of it all. That's why we have to keep our foot on our necks on those two. Our elected officials, even some of those influential folks, those progressives, we still got to keep our foot on their necks too. Because you telling me you make $174,000 a year and you have no enacted laws under your name? Not even one? The insanity of it all. Like, our Congress, our legislative branch, our 3 branches of government is like so, like, it's a headache. It seems like the only one that's operating in the best way they can is our executive branch. And it's supposed to be our legislative and judicial branch is supposed to be operating on full function to put a check on our executive branch. But it seems like the executive branch got to put a check on both our judicial and our legislative branch. How does that make sense? I have no idea. None. You have one party who's supposed to be the party of morality, the party of, free market, the party of capitalism, the party of family values, the party of protecting the military, the party of protecting our democratic institutions, and believing our intelligence community are the same party, the same party that doesn't believe that an insurrection had happened 6 months ago. How does that make sense? The same party that believes that the election was stolen, that there was fraud. Please tell me that, how does that make sense in the world? I have no idea. I'm lost. Perplexed. And I know I'm not a scholar. I know I'm not no legal hat. I know I'm not a political commentator. But God damn it, I'm a person that is aware of the 3 branches of government in my country. as far as I'm concerned. Just confused. But I just want to just touch base on this little thing. I'm going to just read your comments, but let me read it first. The squad is messy, of course. The SCOTUS is doing exactly what they were put there for, to destroy civil rights. Absolutely. I said, I call them the Twitter caucus. All they do is tweet. Well, you say Twitter, I say the Rose Twitter caucus. So we got news about this whole mayoral election. It gave me a headache. And now I'm glad at least it's put to rest for now. I predicted this. I knew it was going to happen. And people thought that I was just being a pessimist. I wasn't being a pessimist. I was being real. I saw what was going on the ground. I actually paid attention to this race. Other people just was shouting out they wanted this person. But did you pay attention to the race? No. Did you pay attention to what's going on the ground? No. Did you watch the debates? No, you didn't. You didn't. And that's what happened. I heard people talking, and I knew this was going to happen. As much as I was rooting for this person to win, I said it before, this was her race to win or lose. If she would have stayed away from the defund the police talking points and talk about reforming the police like she did in the beginning, she could have had this whole entire race. Because there were many black women that were behind her in the beginning. Some of it did drop. The support she did lose some support amongst some black women. Most of her support was from white gentrified folks. Because you can see there's a map of it. But either way, my top two, at least one of them, is now the nominee. Because I would have rather see Maya or Eric before Catherine. And everybody was like, why not Catherine? Catherine was in my top three, but Catherine, it was something about Catherine that made me want to side eye. And the fact that she did not go to enough black neighborhoods, that made me like cautious as hell. Because both Maya and Eric went to black neighborhoods. They may not agree on a lot of issues, but the simple fact is they made inroads within the black community. They did. They did. And even somewhat Ray McGuire did, and to some certain extent, and even Sean Donovan. We knew Andrew Yang and Scott Stringer. I knew they were not going to be the nominee. Like, I knew it. Twitter didn't know it. But I knew it. So I knew this race was going to be between Maya and Eric. And so happened, Eric built the coalition that got him to win. He did. Jay, yes, there's muck up everything good for the Dem party. And not just even, Catherine refused to talk to black communities and avoided black media. Yes, she did. And that's why she lost. So don't be surprised some of her supporters may vote for the crazy guy. Because that might happen. That's why people need to show up to this motherfucking race and vote for Mr. Adams. Because that guy in there, that's going to be a problem. It made her non-valuable. That's right. That's right. And so, yeah, when you don't talk to black media and talk to black community ain't showing up for your ass. And that's just what it is. And elections do matter. Now people know that, ranked choice do matter. Elections, local elections, they fucking matter. They do. They really do. So what to expect? We just hope that people keep their word. We hope people evolve. Because we talked about Joe Biden not evolving on certain issues from the primaries. But It's all about evolving and see what the hell is going on with you. And Mr. Adams may evolve. Who's to say he may be the one to get Patrick Lynch to quit the SBA? If so, that would be wonderful. That would be great. I don't know what that's about, but you may never know. I want to see if the candidates rally around Adams or they will pull a That is a good question. They might pull a Bernie. Don't be surprised. I'm not surprised. Because that's the kind of shit they will do. But Maya also got to make a message and say, please vote. She should be the bigger person, which I'm pretty sure she is the bigger person. She seems like a bigger person in this scenario. So let's see what happens. But in this time, and I'm going to keep it real, I do not, and I know people going to get mad, but I don't trust white people. Especially white Democratic voters, because they will vote for the opposite party if they don't like the candidate. They will. They did it with Hillary. They did it when Dinkins. They did it, I guess, the third time when Bloomberg won, they did it to Thompson. Like, this city has a thing with black people running for mayor. I don't know what it is, but they have a thing. They have a thing. Like a thing, and it's really bad. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. That's why I side-eyed even the gentrifiers that move here, because I don't trust them neither. Because half of them that moved here, they voted for Bloomberg, some of them, when they moved up here, and they voted for Bill de Blasio twice. And Bill de Blasio was supposed to be the progressive one here in the city. And look how the city's run now from the progressive, who was supposed to promise to reform the police. What happened? And those who are concerned about the race here in New York, let me just say this to y'all. We know what time it is, and we will figure our shit out. I understand people around, the states are concerned. But do some of y'all visit New York? Will some of y'all ever visit the neighborhoods in New York? The black neighborhoods? I don't know. But here's what I'm going to say. We will figure our shit out. People will evolve. It's still early. And there will be time. I know people wanted Miss Wiley. I would have loved to see Miss Wiley, become the mayor of New York. But she ran on a message which, with the height of gun violence in the city, was not the right time. So it is what it is. I'm going to move right along. So, in the event of this week, progressives decide to show their ass. Well, no, they had their falling out online, which is comical. And then one showed their ass yesterday. So, I would just like to pull up some tweets that I tweeted out the other day, because I thought it was very amusing. Got over 80,000 tweets. So, of course, scrolling through these is like a scavenger hunt. Ugh. Okay, so remember I predicted like 4 months ago almost that they will be going through some shit? Yeah, it was hilarious. It was like a circling firing, Rose firing squad force all this week. It sure was. So I predicted all of this shit. So it started off with a whole with Kyle from the Secular Talk tweeting this out, and I got the screenshot. I'm well aware that I've permanently damaged friendships I had with Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian, and Jimmy Dore. This was one of the many reasons why I tried so hard to stay out. Since I've been forced to say exactly how I feel, I've alienated all of them for different reasons. Sorry to all. So Jimmy Dore just replied and said, just stop. Even now you are making more false equivalencies. You just can't help it. Just can't help yourself. You're a virtue signaling white knight who got caught encouraging female news hosts to masturbate on camera for views. Here is Anna Kasparian slut shaming. You going to punch her in the face. And there is a screenshot of Kyle pretty much asking, I guess, a woman to masturbate. And then you got Cenk Uygur going at it with Glenn Greenwald, saying, I used to respect at Glenn Greenwald after seeing what he did here, where he hid the actual story and omitted enormous evidence from his audience. I've lost all faith in anything he did in the past as well. How many stories did he hide in evidence? I mean, he's the co-founder of the motherfucking Intercept, you dickwad. But y'all use his motherfucking ass as a source. And also, Cenk Uygur and Jimmy Dore also been having fights and shit on online as well. And I think I have the screenshot to pull this up too. So Cenk said this: we want a smart audience, not a dumb one. So if you can't tell that a dictator like Assad didn't win an election with 95% of the vote, don't watch our show. You won't understand it. Watch a deranged clown and a serious journalist discuss their feelings for weeks on end. These progressives are just messy. Like, I wish I had a glass of wine, which I might have one after I finish my laundry tonight, because, child, I said these people will go through things. You got Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian, Brianna Gray, Ryan Knight, Socialist MMA, Jimmy Dore, Crystal Ball, Katie Harper, Marianne Williamson, and she said some stupid shit too with the whole conflict in Israel, how to solve it. Like, these people are really going through some shit. And it's funny. Because why it's funny? Because for the last motherfucking 5 years, they have been nothing but chaos agents online, bullies online, sliding in people's mentions, spreading lies, discouraging us to vote for our candidates of our choice. They've been doing this shit for 5.5 years while making money off the Trump administration. And now that Donald Trump is not in office, now you got President Joe Biden actually doing shit, making shit happen within 6 months. They have nothing else to talk about. So the grift is running out. The money is running dry. And yes, they may be worth millions of dollars, but that can all go because they are all wealth awareness, or I should say a paycheck away from homelessness. Yes, I said it. They're a paycheck away from from homelessness. And that includes Ryan Knight, as I said, Brianna Gray, and Nick the Fred Hampton Socialist. They're all a paycheck away and some cancellations from Patreon away from homelessness. They are. So to all of those unemployed rejects, I hope you can stretch that money out. Put it in a savings or put it under a pillow or under somewhere, because you guys going to be needing that emergency fund real soon. Sis, when you dropping that merchandise, I don't make merchandise. But if people want to help me make a shirt, that's fine. But I got no money to give you because I got to give myself, a job. It's not just the progressives, though. It's the whole media apparatus. Yep, and they need for Trump. They need their abuser. They want their abuser. Yep, and they mad because she said she was right. Michelle Wolf said they want their book deals. And I love to troll them with pics of Kamala and with the windbreaker and Val in uniform. I had my pictures of Kamala laughing, one with the hot sauce and the other with laughing. Oh, God. Calm as a bitch. But it's another person I need to laugh at. Oh, they will definitely learn today. So this Jessica lady, because I'm going to get to Medi's ass last. So Jessica Grace, yes, she blocked me. Like, I never had no interaction with her. I don't even remember. If somebody can refresh my memory, that's fine. But she was one of the people that wished harm on Representative Jim Clyburn. Because it's time. Are you sure you want to send this tweet? Absolutely. With Clyburn doing everything he can to deepen the many crises we face. All we can do is hope for their death, because they'll never retire and they will never use their last breaths to halt progress by any means necessary. Absurdly terrible. And then she said, I deleted because I was wrong. No, Jessica, you meant everything you said about the representative. Like, the disrespect towards Jim Clyburn is absolutely, like, it's nasty. And it's disgusting. And it's disrespectful as fuck. So Jessica got read to filth. I think she got dragged that very same day, to the point where she had to delete it. And no, people still got the screenshots. People still got the screenshots. So to put this all in a nutshell, to Jessica, you meant what you said. You got caught, so you deleted that tweet. And now people will remember you for the woman that wished death on a number 3 Democrat in the House of Representatives. How do you feel? Not a good feeling. I will never want to be Jessica with that rose by her name. That's why you will always be remembered as a woman who wished death on the number 3 Democrat in the House of Representatives. Now, it's time to get into Mehdi Hasan's ass. Because I know I got into his ass yesterday. I'm going to get into his ass again. Because it needs to reach him. It needs to reach his soul. It needs to anoint his body. Because I saw his little mean ass on The Last Word today. saying shit. So his tweet. So y'all know he had an interview with Representative Jim Clyburn last night on his show on Peacock streaming channel. And he basically was snarky and, put his ideology before being the professional that he's supposed to be, interviewing the number 3 Democrat in the House of Representatives, an older black man named Jim Clyburn. And he asked him, are you frustrated with, no, the progressives are frustrated with you, about defund the police. And Jim Clyburn told him 4 different ways that defund the police, the slogan there, was a detriment to the Democratic Party, because other progressives ran on it in very blue districts that was mostly gentrified. But then you had these other Democratic congressmen who barely won their seat and try to counterpunch that message of defund the police, and because Republicans bastardized on it and tried to get them unseated out of their position. Max Rose lost his seat in very red Staten Island versus Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who barely won her seat even in her district, because Republicans were trying to get her ass out right away in her very blue district. But Mehdi Hasan still was rude. But he tweeted this, I guess that very same day. So he said, so what's the best explanation for why black voters are so keen on Joe anti-busing, pro-mass incarceration Biden? Is it because they pragmatically think he's the guy their white neighbors will vote for versus Trump, or because they nostalgically view him as Obama's VP? This is to Mr. British Mehdi Hasan. This is for you. Black voters chose a leader who, 1, can't beat Trump, and 2, who will bring back normalcy to the country, who will actually listen to them and not overlook them like Bernie Sanders, your candidate, have been doing most of his political life. A candidate who will actually be more of a transformative candidate, and a candidate that will actually bring, change and invite people to the fold. I mean, after all, he picked the first woman to be his vice president, and not just only the first woman of color, black and Southeast Asian. How greater can you get? Who actually work cohesively together and not afraid of going to their neighborhoods, like Bernie Sanders. I mean, for crying out loud, back in 2016, he came up to the Bronx and he went up to like the white side of the Bronx and not the hood. He went to gentrified Brooklyn, Prospect Heights, and then go to Bed-Stuy or Crown Heights like Hillary Clinton did. You really want to keep it real? Let's be real. Let's be honest. Let's have an honest conversation. But to Mr. Hasan, this is for you. Black voters saved this country from the worst president in modern day history since Andrew Johnson. I repeat, black voters saved this country from the worst president in U.S. history since Andrew Johnson. If it wasn't for black voters, we would still have the bum from Queens in our White House. And for the last fucking time, Bernie Sanders still would have lost. He would have won. Not at all. Not at all. And no, that White House and that cabinet would have been so white under Bernie Sanders. The only person that would be black is the press secretary. And of course, the maids and the cooks and the valet. Not the cabinet members. Oh no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So to Mehdi Hassan, don't ever shit on black voters. And especially don't shit on people like Representative Jim Clyburn, because if it wasn't for his fight during the civil rights movement, as well as the late great John Lewis and many other leaders, you wouldn't been in the chair you are sitting in now today at NBC Studios. No, you wouldn't. You would be just a doorman. Because of their activism of our rights, and not just voting rights, but rights to work in white establishments, like you, Mehdi, working in white establishments, is the reason why you are sitting in the chair that you are sitting at today. So, Mehdi, if I were you, I will keep my mouth all the way shut and keep people's name, like Jim Clyburn's name, out your mouth. Because you don't want that smoke. And also another thing to Mr. Hassan, back in your home country. Worry about the leadership in your home country, because Boris Johnson ain't shit. People don't like him. He's the reason why the UK is struggling financially. Him and that Nigel guy. You know that, right? So worry about that and let black people worry about who we elect. Because the last time I checked, you don't care about us. You don't. Because if you cared about us, you wouldn't open your mouth like that to Jim Clyburn. You wouldn't even speak and interject what he was saying about his wife and everything. You wouldn't. Not at all. Not even one bit. Georgia and Arizona will never flip blue with fanny pack. And they would have stayed red. Yeah, it's a disrespect. It is a disrespect for me. It's a huge disrespect. And that goes for all of them. That goes for, Brianna Gray disrespecting Nicole Hannah-Jones. That goes for Ryan Knight disrespecting other black folks. And all these other black leftists, allowing these white leftists to disrespect our black leaders. Don't do that. Like, it's so fucking baffling that it's okay that y'all let these white leftists disrespect our black leaders. How dare you? If it wasn't for these same black leaders that you call the establishment, you guys wouldn't have been in the spaces y'all would be in today. Y'all wouldn't. Y'all would have been doormans and cooks all your lives. You wouldn't been you wouldn't been running for Congress. Even working as a motherfucking secretary. Okay? You wouldn't. Hi, Enrique. You wouldn't. Exactly. These same black leaders that they criticize, they got their head bashed in. Some of them got killed. Even. And y'all disrespecting them like that? Really? That's what the fuck we doing? In these Twitter streets? On TV? Y'all motherfuckers are lames. Straight up. But I've been on here long enough and I've been ranting. But you guys have a wonderful night. Be safe and be blessed. And yeah, out of pocket. But I've been on here for an hour talking shit. So you guys stay blessed and highly favored. Talk to y'all soon.